Because y'all knew this adventure has to keep on continuing.
Yep.
Keep on keeping on.
Though that being said, it'll be for the final time for the Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Completely.
It's kind of amazing to see that we've finally made it all the way here.
It only took us a few years and a major acquisition of the game's publisher, but yeah.
We get to finally see how this all ends, so now I'm going to be backtracking to every level I had previously skipped, because, like, the Tiki Lounge, we had
Lodge.
Tiki Lodge.
God.
Tiki
all of our-
Lodge.
In the Tiki Lodge, everybody has to think and have to get out of Dodge in the Tiki Lodge.
Is that how it goes?
No.
Oh.
Welcome, everybody, to the Tiki Room. Now, here, we get to... Go
The
ahead.
VIP room.
I was about to say, get out of Dodge. I don't think was even a proper term back when that song came out.
Oh, no, it was like, what, the 50s when that audio animatronic stuff was shown off?
Maybe.
Let me look that up.
So yeah, for the sake of this, for Sergeant Bird's level here, we got to go reassemble
His buddies.
his buddies. Though that being said, there is a skill point attached to this.
But you have
What's
to do
that?
it before you help out the buddies.
Basically, you got to assemble all the heads before you can put them on their respective bodies. Just have them all hanging out together, and then they
In
do
like
a
a
little
little
dance.
circle.
And then they do a little dance, and you get the skill point.
It's
Oh,
really
that's
funny
actually
to
really-
watch, but honestly,
It's actually
kinda
pretty
weird.
cute and freaking Toucan Sam getting above
Oh,
my
these
territory.
Toucan enemies can suck dick.
Okay, and I looked it up now. The Tiki Room was in the 60s.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, otherwise, I don't care for this stage, because it's basically, especially when the game first came out, if you recall, way back when Icky was telling us all about the things he
The
didn't like
camera
about Sergeant
glitch.
Bird with the camera.
The camera glitch
It
was
was
here
a
too.
Fucking camera glitch made
And this room
level
is
suck.
nothing. And this room is nothing but lava now.
It's weird how it's with lava specifically where that glitch would rear its ugly head.
I mean, because, like, I understand why... Oh, boy. I understand why they're trying to warn me, like, hey, be careful, you know, you want to make sure you're looking at the right...
Yeah, just watch out.
Tiki?
Oh, right. If you get hit, you drop the thing.
They respawn,
But don't worry,
thankfully.
respawns.
You have to go back and get a new one.
That would be incredibly traumatic for the Tiki friend to witness. If
Don't worry,
otherwise.
he's sleeping. He doesn't know.
He's sleeping in the lava. It's very warm. There we are. Ah, well. I just get used to hearing that lovely little trumpet theme of Sergeant Bird's one last time.
Yeah, because we're experiencing the brunt of it.
Yep.
But yeah, because now I think about this will actually, except for Sheila, because Sheila was the
Oh, boy.
first one. This is going to be the last time we see Sergeant Bird now.
Alas. It was fun while it lasted.
Well, look at it this way. Assuming we ever do a hero's tale, he will still have purpose yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
I'm looking forward to that. I am still looking forward to that. It's gonna
Actually, I could be
very
wrong, but was Sergeant Bird ever featured in the in any of the GBA games?
I think he was.
I know
I
he was.
wanna
I
say
know he was
yes.
in Spyro Orange, but he
Right.
looked horrible in that game.
I thought he was in Crack. Oh yeah, it was Spyro Orange. My bad.
Oh, he was in Attack of the Rhinox. You have to rescue him in that one.
Okay.
Careful.
And I mean, honestly, it's funny we bring up Spyro Orange because they just up and reused his a hero's tale model for it.
Yes, he did. He looked very chunky for whatever reason.
It looked very
So-
chunky, and his idle animation was just him in a static pose, just hovering in place.
He looked like
Yes.
Wheezy.
Oh, so to hype, I don't believe you were there because you mentioned tackling the Shadow Legacy a couple parts ago. But another thing we had discussed, which you may or may not have been around for, was James had this idea to basically do our own sort of Reignited Trilogy thing, but this time for the GBA games.
I don't see why not.
So like he would do. Did you want to do Fire or Ice, James?
I'll do Season of Flames. That's the one I actually owned growing up.
And then I owned Season of Ice actually the most growing up. I played that one.
There
Oh
you
my
go.
God, I can't
And
talk.
you know what? It all checks out.
And I had
Thank
Attack
you,
of the
Director.
Rhinox.
And worst case scenario, Icky, I can set you up on my computer the same way we almost did Billy Hatcher that 3 or 4 times.
I think it would work better with Spyro anyways.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, you'll be fine. The
For
only
those
thing you have to
wondering,
worry
ladies
about
and
is
gentlemen,
doing
we
the
are still
isometric
considering doing
controls.
Billy Hatcher at some point or another, but we're making that a commentary now.
Yeah.
And we're trying to figure out how to welcome most esteemed. Oh, okay. It's
Let's go
I don't
for a
know.
stroll.
I don't know how to handle Billy Hatcher. I want the game is so unique. And I want to show it off at some point, but
You know, like I'll say whatever you will about the game. I mean, some of us consider it a guilty pleasure.
Eh.
yeah.
Well, I do.
No.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, take that part.
don't care.
Follow me.
No.
Fucking
Okay.
short.
I am a strong man.
If I wasn't a kid, I'd take you to court over this.
Eat my shorts, big brother.
You don't
Yeah,
wear
okay, no.
shorts.
And
That's right, I wear
Shoes now.
shoes. Unlike some Neanderthals around here.
My feet are the only shoes I require.
Speaking of Neanderthals, this is definitely an area where the new camera system really doesn't work.
No.
Again, I do not understand the cinematic Last of Us Part 2 camera angle.
It's just really it does a number on it really does a number on my peripheral vision.
Right,
not
especially
only
because
now-
as you're noticing, we're always needing to be looking to see what's coming to our right, and that is where our view is most. Stop it. This is where our view is the most limited.
Why do you only now notice that the Rhinox are wearing
Our
lipstick?
geisha, that they're geishas or whatever. I don't know.
No. No, it's not that I noticed that they were geishas. It's that I noticed they were wearing lipstick.
Oh, it's a reference.
I mean,
It's a
well,
it's a
hold on.
reference to a popular Sly Cooper 4 with Madame Rhino.
I was about to say, wait, geishas, but technically isn't this is
Yeah,
a
it's supposed to be
Chinese
China.
inspired. I was about to say this is a Chinese inspired level. Geishas are Japan.
Yeah.
Then they're just on their way to see the matchmaker.
I mean,
Stop it.
you know what? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more comparable to that.
They'll bring honor to us all.
Come back when you have personalities.
And at the very
Man.
least, the original had the balls to just sing the song and not just play the music to try. I'm just throwing this out there right now. The live action Mulan I dislike because it tried to have its cake and eat it too.
Because it's
It
an
claimed-
absolute garbage remake.
It claimed that the old Mulan was so offensive and inaccurate, yet tried to play all the same music from that old one to hopefully net people in on nostalgia. So clearly it didn't value it all that much.
Remember
Now it's
the
up-
original Mulan that was so stupid and cartoony?
I mean,
Well, now we have Super Saiyan girls powered by phoenixes.
yeah. Anyway, hey, we
Brubeck.
found Brubeck.
Brubeck the dragon.
In this amazing
So-
cube.
So that is why I do not care for the Mulan live action. Just all the live action, I don't know. I feel like they're just trying way too hard. The source material
think
is way
the-
too strong. There's just no redeeming value for what they're accomplishing
all just
apart
for this-
from trying to revise it for the same thing. Screw you, Bartholomew.
Jesus.
No, you see, that time he found that Bartholomew actually liked the remix. It's like, this is people who like the remix are idiots. Let me get that through your head.
He just that it was just Bentley noticing that he was about to tweet something. It's like, don't. Is his name even Bartholomew or am I?
It is.
making
It's
that-
Bartholomew.
Okay.
It's like, look, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the remakes were really only made to cater to general audiences and nothing more.
Or just to make money.
Exactly. I mean,
no.
I mean, to be fair, isn't that pretty much the reason why every movie exists?
Isn't that
I mean-
possibly the reason why we're playing this video game?
I mean, obviously,
Yes.
passion can be a part of it. I mean, those that are passionate about their craft, by all means. But remember, you still need to make money. It still needs to make money.
If I
Otherwise,
remember,
it's like
Very
if I
you're-
remember
otherwise
right,
you're losing a lot of it.
like say what you will about her, but I remember watching a Lindsay Ellis video a while back where she quoted, like, I think it was a quote from like either Bob Iger or Michael Eisner, that their objective in making films wasn't to tell a compelling story. Like that was secondary to them. The primary focus of making products was for the sake of making money.
Of course.
If they happen to make something more, more meaningful, then that was more so incidental.
I mean, that's to be fair.
Oh, by
that's
the
just,
way, I forget if it's in this room or in the room coming up, but if you look up at the doorway that you just got through, you'll find a special box with a very special item within.
and
item?
that is considered a skill point.
Yep,
Okay. What,
and it
what
makes
is
this
the items to
level
one up?
a hell of a lot easier.
Basically, basically gives you auto fire.
Yep.
Man, that actually
It's
be so
rapid
much
fire.
nicer. Man, that actually would be very useful. Ah, well,
But,
for now, let's
but,
for now enjoy some Doom.
But yeah, what Iki was describing earlier with that whole interview is literally just the executive way of thinking.
Yep.
Yeah, very much.
They don't care about making stuff good. They just care about making lots and lots of cash.
Because the general public are a bunch of idiots.
It's the American way.
Well, maybe not the general public are idiots, but the focus group testing people are usually the idiots.
They cherry pick the dumbest of the dumb.
I mean, also, as you know, to be fair, that's why Ratchet Deadlocked exists.
Also, as you're noticing, that's an right. Also, as you're noticing,
really?
My only careful. Some people just like the action and the arena combat the most. But I'll grant it, I still like Deadlocked. I think it had, and the way it did co-op was still very ahead of its time.
Thanks, Pie.
Thank you, Pie. I'm gonna say right now, though, my least favorite part about this Doom segment is, well, I mean, A, the camera, but B, I mean, that goes without saying. But no, it's honestly the problem that I had was that since sparks will not help you in picking up gems, there really is no. The depth perception is a bit odd. Like, the camera's actually a little bit ahead of where Agent 9 is. So you have to, like, really hunt to find where the gem's hitbox is sometimes.
Like
I will say, it is it's much easier to play through here than it is in the original.
I mean, I won't doubt that, but I was also going to bring up something I already brought up before. It's like, this would be a great opportunity to allow Agent 9's blaster to also collect gems for you.
Yeah.
Shoot to loot.
Because then you can at least say, "Hey, this is what a real rail shooter is like."
So Hype, you don't strike me much as someone who. You don't strike me. Got you there. You don't strike me
like
as one who really played too many first-person shooters. What did you think of this section?
Well, I will say that is a fine assessment, because it's like, aside from Portal, they don't really appeal to me all that much, which is a shame, because I've been really wanting to give Metroid Prime a fair chance. I just can never bring myself to do so.
Adam,
I think if I set you up with Prime Hack, oh nice, sick! I shot his own guy. I think if I set you up with Prime Hack, you would probably get a good kick out of that Hype.
Possibly, but that being said,
nice.
I will admit this is probably my least favorite of the Agent 9 sections, mostly just because. Well, like you mentioned, the camera perspective can make it like very easy for enemies to blindside you. It's, if not literal, but to me it feels like it's the longest of them, which kind of feels like they drag after a while.
Well, here's the thing: once you get the first egg, you have to go all the way back.
You have to fight your way back to the start.
Strangely enough, though, you're not on the clock for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think like the fuse would be a problem, but so this part I can say right now, this would be kind of annoying if you missed a couple gems in that first wave. Like, do you have to basically restart the level to get access to the first wave of enemies and gems again?
I don't know, because I think some of the enemies don't drop gems only because they count as like infinitely respawning.
Right. It's only the boxes. But like I'm saying, so let's say you played this level and you didn't destroy all of the enemy spawners on the first wave through, and then you ran through, and now you're on the second wave, which spawns a whole new set of them. Would that first set still be there, or would you now have to, would you have to replay to get to the? I don't know.
At the same time, you're kind of goaded into breaking the boxes anyway, because you want to deal with all the enemies so they don't end up swarming you.
Also,
which is very easy to do in this stage.
Oh no, you just saw I almost died earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
Also,
it's
quick
one of the hardest
observation.
levels in the game, honestly.
Quick observation. So, in homage to what it's already homaging, you technically do have a health meter, and it is numerical, much like Doom. But you lose your health in fours, more or less exactly like you do throughout the rest of the game. So it honestly feels like one of those things where, what was even the point?
They're just
unless you didn't get the
they really
sparks
were
upgrade.
just being.
Unless you
they
didn't
really
get,
were just.
Oh, hold on.
Go ahead.
Unless you didn't get the sparks upgrade, in which you would lose your health by thirds.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Why?
Otherwise,
so wait, they give you less health?
Well, no, it's because it's running off of sparks as a health meter. If you didn't get the sparks upgrade, then you technically have 4 hits as opposed to 5.
Right. Yeah,
so
right.
you'd have
blue,
66
green,
health,
dead.
33 health, and then 1 health, and then you're dead.
Right. But otherwise, James, no, there really is nothing that was stopping them from just putting a Sparks color HUD icon in the lower left. Like, at this point, you're right. They really were just trying to pay homage to Doom, and that's about it. Oh my gosh, too many of these guys.
Yep.
Yeah, that's another reason I don't like this level.
So actually, now that I think about it, if they really wanted to go full hand, they should have put Agent 9's mud, literally in the middle, and literally just have him be all paranoid as all get out.
Yeah.
That actually would be very in character.
And more beaten up. The harder, the less health he has.
Hilariously, you
I
can
love that
still
detail.
get the skill point in this room if you didn't get it before.
Just gotta
Basically,
look
you
up.
look up and it's on the ceiling.
Duly noted. Anyway, we're gonna go free him by shooting him. Goodbye.
Oh,
See,
What
that
did we
didn't
accomplish
hurt,
again?
That didn't hurt it for much.
Just like, what did we accomplish by... Anyway.
Though to be fair, I
Did
think
we
that's
really
part.
rescue him, or is he just saying so?
I think that's pretty much just the joke. Like we all thought it was all gonna be a deadly thing, but in reality, nah, it was just.
We saved
Pussy
a
damage.
geek!
He was never in danger to begin with. Now time to do that area I forgot.
Oh yeah, why'd you forget again?
It was over here to the right of the entrance. Sparks is pointing it out. I completely forgot about this bonus area.
It's another relatively tricky bonus area.
It's him again.
I mean, he is pretty much our secondary side character here, so why not?
Yeah, you got Handel and then you got Greta.
By the
which
way,
is
have you
never
gotten-
seen again.
By the way, have you and your sister gotten, actually, gotten better about your family values since last time?
No.
we have a family.
No, relax. Don't worry. Icky, I mentioned it earlier. Do you know about what the Metroid Prime hack thing is?
No. I have never
It's
played
actually-
the original Metroid Prime, so I kind of...
Oh. Well, I'll say it anyway because I thought it was neat, and because it's spoilers going to be how I'm going to handle the rest of the trilogy. The
Assuming
Prime-
we don't ever get that, Prime remake on Switch.
I'm gonna be so upset. Maybe for the third game, but I am sticking to what I did for the second game. It took me too long to get through that 100, everything I needed. For those wondering, Prime Hack is a really awesome fan-made hack for Dolphin that basically sets it up so that the Prime trilogy can be played using mouse and keyboards as though it were an ordinary PC computer game.
That sounds pretty cool.
It gives me so much more control over my aim. I can do some really cool stuff if I, there you go.
Can you no scope?
I can no scope actually. I can actually make so many more shots that I normally would have to do the whole Z target lock on for.
Nice.
But otherwise, we are still anxiously waiting for Prime 4. All we know is that Retro changed their Twitter banner one time, and everyone's freaking out.
Yeah.
It means they're actually still doing it.
It's
Do
like,
you
hey
think-
guys, remember when we announced that game a long while ago? Yeah, that was great. Here it is again.
Yeah.
How low do you think the odds are that we might actually see something about it this year's E3?
If
Well-
we don't, then I'm worried.
Well, you know what? The people in the comments can answer that for us, considering this is likely going to go up after E3.
Woo! There's way too many things at a time.
No kidding!
Hey
It's like
guys,
they
how
really
about that
better to
Mario
do.
Odyssey 2 announcement? That looks
But I mean-
great.
Oh, but okay, so that's it. Actually, with that, we've done it. We've caught up on every hub area so far.
And we can kindly tell our friends to go home.
So now it's time to
Go
give
home.
it's time to give Sparks one last little ride.
Do we have
But
to?
I will say that as we go into that, what was it?
Into
I
the
mean,
wild
you can't. I mean, you
Sparky
can't blame.
yonder.
I mean, I was gonna say you can't blame us, James. Like literally, we straight up today alone, we've done 5 days worth of videos in a single day.
That is a good point.
It's just. Imagine if our work ethic was as low as doing a single video. Oh wait, we did do that one.
It's almost
Imagine-
like it's almost like we can't control our schedule sometimes.
Which is fair. Also, this part is they're basically thieves.
Yeah.
But as long
Just look at him just running away with those beady little legs and then boom.
yeah, I would appreciate if someone could put in the fucking Mr. Krabs walking noise.
So, as far as the
Yeah.
context to this level is, we're apparently in the Sorceress's secret laboratory.
Where she made a bunch of robot bugs specifically to
Wait a
kill
minute.
Sparks.
I was about to say, I thought her whole shtick was magic and spells. Why is she working with robots now?
Right, this is a new magic that she developed or that she discovered called technology.
If not that, I was gonna make the somehow nerdier joke by saying, "Oh, it's Magitech."
I was about to
Pretty
say
much.
Magitech as well.
We've learned nothing since the Final Fantasy years of yore, but also be careful because we're dealing with machines, which means they can be made much faster. And as you see, he just kind of disappeared. Welcome
He
to
just
welcome to the roughest and toughest of the Bug Empire.
I'd argue it's probably the easier one compared to Starfish Reef.
Yeah,
Okay,
this one I don't remember having a lot of problem with.
okay, forget my roughest and toughest command.
I mean, they're boogs,
No,
and
we
we
didn't-
are a boog.
We said that the sorceress made this entire laboratory full of bugs. We didn't say she had enough time to thoroughly test them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I guess you could say her development process was buggy.
Right.
There we go.
Oh,
That was easy enough. He really should have thought. He really should have thought of a better escape route there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Remember
kind
when
of stupid.
Remember when Zarok briefly perverted the rules of science?
Ooh.
Yes.
Rules of God
Zera,
and man.
the ancient necromancer who crafted an evil plot in a weird time-twisting machine or whatever.
That was really just there for the sake, which was more of an aesthetic than an actual practical device.
Were you talking about
It was just there
Dragon's
for
Lair
an
2?
annoying-
No,
No,
we're talking
medieval.
about medieval.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Dragon.
No, although that
That one
no,
used a
but
time
you're
twisting
there,
machine, did
yeah,
it not?
there
That's-
was a time machine as well.
That is a good point.
A time machine that used to be a
Speaking of-
man, by the way.
What?
A brother.
Yeah.
No, straight up, like the entire time, the time machine is talking to you, saying that
Oh,
it's
that's
his
the
evil
time
brother.
machine talking?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
time machine literally says that the villain of what the evil wizard Mordrock, that's his brother.
Yeah,
What?
and then the brother himself says, "Ah, my brother, you cantankerous, clanking piece of junk," or whatever like that.
You know, he really
speaking
should
of-
get around to actually doing like a proper redo of those.
That was like my
games.
first video. That or that Dragon's Lair 1. Those are like my first videos.
Well,
ever with
you were.
guys.
I don't think you were there for one. You were there for two.
Dragon's Lair
true.
2 sounds like a hell of a trip.
It is. It is a trip.
It is absolute. It is Dragon's
literally
It
Lair.
is
go
Honestly,
through
all bonkers.
You go through Alice in Wonderland in one of the stages.
Alice in Wonderland. You go to the freaking Garden of Eve, where Eve is massive
Garden
for
of
whatever
Eden.
reason. Eden.
Also,
sorry,
can I-
Eve is massive for some reason.
Also,
You end
I
up
wanna
on Beethoven's
Beethoven.
piano
where at some point he literally turns into Elton John.
for whatever
Okay.
fucking reason.
Yeah, go ahead, Hyde. Go ahead, Hyde.
I really am glad that James suggested the idea of us redoing the Dragon Slayer commentaries because that's what I was trying to say for the past 2 minutes.
Sorry.
Well, we talked about, but yeah, just, I'd love to. I think
I do
think
have the
that
I do have the trilogy on Switch, so
we do.
only thing
Really?
is I'm sort of dreading going back to Dragon's Lair 2 though, considering the fact that if you die in that game, the checkpoints are next to non-existent.
Weren't there any accessibility options that would like?
There is some, and you know, push comes to shove, I'll just turn those on.
Also,
Right.
real quick, I will rewind a bit because this might give me some insight on something. You said Dragon's Lair Trilogy?
Yeah, there was a Dragon's Lair trilogy that was it was originally a thing on the Wii, and then at some point or another, it got re-released on the Switch.
Well, what I mean
Well,
is
what's
that
Dragon's
like
Lair 3?
Space Ace.
Well, technically there was Dragon's Lairs 1 and 2, and it also included Space Ace, because that was technically the thing that came after the original Dragon's Lair.
Yes.
I getcha.
Yeah, no, they
And
were,
I bet you're wondering
Tom
what
Cliff was
our reward was.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's
And
the
there's
reward?
and there's the tornado.
Ooh,
I don't use it though
that's
because
the
I have
thing.
other, and I don't use it because I have other business. Because oh look,
What clever children.
See them study, watch them learn. Anyway, we're about to give Moneybags his much-deserved comeuppance.
he's
What an
gonna sell
asshole.
one of the last Dragon Age.
I kind of wish it was at that moment.
Wait, hang
where
on,
I walked in
hype,
Logan.
hype.
yes.
Boy, you better run.
Bear, you better run.
So here it is, our grand. It's
Vengeance.
time for the grand revenge, where now we're gonna get every single gem we've ever paid him throughout the entire game. This time not in the form of cutscene, but pure bliss.
Catharsis.
Yep. Look at all
Catharsis.
those gems.
All
What?
that glitters belongs to me
I
again.
do find it funny how the more you
Second
actually
gear.
hit them, the lower the value of the gems you get. Like near the end, you're only getting like
Third gear,
fives, twos, and ones.
fourth
Makes
gear.
sense. Just,
Fifth
Jesus.
gear.
Keep fast forwarding. He's almost
gear.
right.
And kaboom.
Kabl-
Oh
Where'd he
god.
go?
He poofed.
Also, I love how he's using the generic animation here.
Yeah, no, this should have been this should have been the last one that they really went gung ho on, but whatever. We got every gem we've ever spent on him. And he's
Oh,
gonna go back to the spooky swamp.
what a
He's
horrid
But he's-
fate.
And he gives us Al.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
Al.
unfortunately
Oh.
though, no one ever told Moneybags the way to spooky swamp, so
So
he
he has to
makes
go
a
to
return.
Crystal Islands instead.
He probably
And
makes
we
a
never
shortcut
see him
there.
again.
Never, actually never, not until Hero's Tale, where he suddenly became freaking Sala from Indiana Jones.
Maybe
Yeah,
his
well,
life was
Ozzy.
broken.
First
Maybe
off,
he
I
was so
appreciate.
traumatized for losing all of his money.
First
know.
off, I appreciate you glancing over the fact that he was in Enter the Dragonfly.
What's
like
Enter the
one level.
Dragonfly?
For like one level, for one joke, and I don't even think he was a haiku poet, he just was a monk or whatever.
He makes you
Anyway,
pay
the
for a bridge.
the super bonus
Welcome
round.
to bonus round.
This is the super one, in which it's going to be the
a
game, also, because there's a single gem there. Because it's, again, this is where the game's going to throw all of its gimmicks at you one last time.
Hey, you finally made it, Spyro.
Hey, Bianca.
Hunter was a little worried
By
about
the way, the music here was the original music for Lost Fleet.
Huh.
Huh.
This is where the sorceress kept all her treasure.
Well, not the original music, but in the original release, it was the same music.
Huh. Well, at least it's nice to see that they kept it.
Yep.
Yeah.
More than welcome to keep the treasure.
Look at that thief over there.
Granted,
taunting
it
us.
was meant to be for super bonus round, but...
Okay.
So yeah, this is the sorceress's personal treasure hoard, and my god, is there a lot of fucking treasure.
You should go see him.
And a lot of gimmicks.
But mostly treasure.
So, let's
It's
just
pretty
be
much
on
to
our
this
way.
game what Nasty's loot was to Spyro 1.
Yeah.
Only with a lot
Supercharged.
more, with several more, annoying bits to get in the way.
Well, again, yeah, it's Nasty Snork, but imagine you had to do another vehicle segment, and then a race, and then 2 races, and then like it gets a little out there. But for
You'll
now, we're
see.
just gonna aim to clear out as much of this place. But there's a reason why this quote unquote bonus stage is taking up the entire last third of this level alone.
It's
huge.
Of
Big.
this video alone. Come on.
Come on.
And unlike
God.
Nasty's Newt,
Nasty's
Newt,
Nasty's
uh,
new.
Nasty's nudie newt.
Newt! No. Unlike Nasty's Newt, you don't have the permanent super glide, which makes me kind of sad.
I know.
I'm
I don't think
sorry.
I ever mentioned it, but I love the way the thieves, like, their clothes and stuff, like, whip around in the wind as you, like,
Oh,
chase
hello.
after them.
I mean, they're so baggy.
Yeah, back to you, Hype.
Just Nasty's nude. Now I'm just imagining like Nasty Nork sitting on his big old busted up couch, and he just has a newt laying on his finger, and he's just paying it like a little pet.
It was his nudie newt.
Anyways, you might be
Then they
wondering what all these little doors with gem numbers on them are.
It's Banjo-Kazooie.
Yep. So we need to get 16,000 gems before we can move on to the next area.
That would-
Level.
You know, that's the last thing the Spyro Trilogy needs, is to revert back to Banjo-Kazooie in 64 logic in terms
I know.
of its collectibles.
Oh my god, if you died and all the gems respawn. Oh.
Yeah.
You lose all your gems. They go sputtering
And,
back to
I
where
don't
they
like
belong.
that at all.
I don't want that ever again, which is why... But no, that's right, no, the Banjo-Kazooie on the N64 Online does keep that.
It does.
Well, it's because
You do?
it's purely based on the N64 version.
Right, not the Xbox remaster or
Also,
Xbox
say for what it's
port.
worth, though, like, I was fairly impressed with the emulation quality of Banjo on the service. Especially considering, you know, the rough couple of months at first.
Yeah.
Wait, did they
Th-
fix the service?
Yeah,
They
no,
fixed a
more
lot
or
of
less.
it, but
Right, they fixed up, like, well, yeah, like, basically, because James had a restore point to always compare just in case. I think you did, right?
Yeah, I did. They did fix the Shadow Link boss fight arena.
Oh, I
Since
wasn't
that was
even
the one
talking
that
about the
everybody
Shadow
used.
Link fight. I was just talking overall.
Oh, like, I mean, the only problem, the biggest problem we've been facing with, unfortunately, is just the online stability of it.
Yeah.
And only with me. But granted, I will say, though, earlier today we installed a new modem in my house, so I may have to double check that later.
So, yeah,
We
it's
could,
like-
we could test that out during the weekend.
but yeah, like
Yeah,
that.
alrighty.
That being said, a lot of the other issues that people have had with it have been addressed and fixed, which I'm sure irritates a lot of Twitter because now that I have one less thing to complain about.
Well,
Yeah.
hi.
What?
It's Nintendo. They'll always have something they can complain about.
But they want
starters,
more
the
to complain
price.
about.
Well, just complain about how they're about to lose access to all their games, and that games should only be experienced as a memory, and that you're wrong to
That's
want
not
to
enough for
recapture
them.
Fair.
I mean, I still
that's all
think
there
that's
is
a
to
really
it.
shitty practice that needs to, end.
Right.
Oh,
Anyway, that looks like that's it. Hunter will just continue to look up as though I'm not here.
Look in my eyes, looking right at your eyes.
I can still hear his voice.
Oh no!
Oh, boy,
this
here we
I
go,
did not.
Worst
boys.
part of the level.
I couldn't even hear Icky finish that. Like, I hear you now, Icky, but like Discord like actually cut off the last part of that shriek you made. But no, I did not care. This is my least favorite race. And my
Everyone,
least favorite
everyone hates this part. Even Tara told me that this part's downright busted.
It
and I
sucks
strong
so hard.
and I strongly dislike trying to find gems here because there's so many different paths.
Yep, and it's an like even though it's an 8 shape, figure 8 course.
Yes.
Exploring this place is not fun at all.
Because see right here, there's 3 layers, which means you almost are always going to be using all 3 of your laps to just explore them to begin with. That guy over there just fell off the edge.
Yeah, but you're not gonna win your first try anyways, so.
Oh god, no. Yeah. So once again, I'm going to use the first couple laps just to find where all these gems are because there's way too many of them, and then I'll focus on beating the thing legitimately.
Yeah, it is hands down one of the worst levels in the game. But what I find really amusing is that like a couple of months ago, when I was wrapping up everything I need for Spyro 3, I was on a call with a bunch of friends on my server, and they were watching me suffering through this. And like Sam in particular, when she was watching, she sympathized for me, but she was amused every time because like whenever you lose this match, Hunter stays true to that promise and actually talks like his tongue is stuck, and she's always amused by that.
Yeah. Ow.
Yeah. All right, let's try that again now for legitimate reasons.
Like every time I
maybe.
would skip the dialogue, she's like, "No, I want to hear I want to hear his tongue getting stuck."
She really doesn't like them.
Hunter, just gonna tell you ahead of time, prepare your tongue.
Prepare
Hunter,
to
let's
lick
be
it, buddy!
I was like, Hunter, let's be honest. You're gonna lose your tongue by the end of the day.
Well,
You're going,
it's a
to
good thing.
you're going to have to cut it off with a saw!
I can't do that, Hunter. Why not?
Because I already cut off my own
away.
thumbs.
But his thumb, but Spyro's thumbs were his most like adorable character
It's
trait.
his
in
only
Reignited.
character trait, Logan.
Well, look at it this way. At least I'm not hit the 5.
You know what?
Well.
Dumb thing that hopped in my mind. Like, say it gets to that point where like Hunter does lose his tongue. He talks about how like, oh, that's okay. I was able to buy myself a replacement tongue thanks to moneybags, and it's just one of those earbuds that are like tongue colored.
Or even funnier,
Why is
it
it-
would have just been
So
like
there you go.
one
I
of
beat
those,
the race.
No, it would have been one of those noisemakers.
Yes! You schooled him like
Uh-huh.
a bunch of frostbitten, flat-footed, molasses-eating, lead pants
What
wearing
the
crocodiles.
fuck,
Jesus.
Hunter?
Sure I have,
Christ.
Hunter. Sure I
I
have.
wonder how many times that actor had to redo that line.
A lot.
I get
Look
that-
at all
you
the
know what?
gems!
You know what? I get that long bit of dialogue gives me
So,
the suspicion. I might be wrong, but it gives me the suspicion that Hunter does not like those guys.
I'm
So,
pretty sure he
Hunter,
doesn't.
you doing
Bye,
anything
Sparks.
after this?
Bye, Sparks.
Well, I did get invited to a swear-off with this one sailor down in Bloodbath Bay.
That's cool. I just love the fact they're just like, so how long are you gonna stand there, Spyro? Until the money finishes up. All right.
I honestly misheard that as Bed Bath & Beyond Bay.
Dude, have you seen the deals they have on body soaps there?
No.
It's amazing. Although, watch out for that glass window. It may
Hey,
look
there's
like
no
an
minigame here.
Yeah. There you
Oh,
go.
real quick, I want to finish my.
Infinite super glide. Actually, yeah. Go ahead.
I was supposed to say, I want to finish my joke that is partially based on like a real life event that happened to a younger me, where it's like, oh, and watch out for that very clean window. It looks like an open way to go into the store. It's really not.
Did you slam your head into a Bed Bath & Beyond glass sliding door?
I slammed my nose in the one.
I
Ouch.
slammed my nose in the car door.
You slammed your nose in the... I'm sorry. it just was a gut reaction. I just had to try and do the freaking... You slammed your... in the car door! And then the freaking Tex Avery scream. Anyway, as you notice on the far right, it's not an infinite superfly. I mean, it lasts a pretty
It
long
lasts a
freaking
long
time.
ass time, though.
But yeah, otherwise
But
you
you
still
think-
find that last...
I think it's the lastest longing you'll ever find out of any power-up.
Also, I just
Apart
realized
from
that
the
we're
infinite.
still
Okay.
chasing sheep saucers.
There's like a royalty they were paying or something. I don't know. Regardless, that is 20k, which means everybody, it's time for the
20K
final
and
showdown.
2 cents.
Look at it. Yeah, 20,000. Wait for it. The most irritating thing for Icky. Quack.
Who?
Well,
Why is this glitch happen? Anyway, she's alive.
Yep, Sorceress is alive.
Oh, what a
And-
surprise.
The sorceress must
and
have survived
honestly,
that last battle.
as hard as it is to believe,
All this
this fight's actually
saving
easier
up her
than the first one.
magic.
Incredibly
Yeah.
enough. Yeah.
Don't wo- Hello, everybody. I'm still here, just floating on by.
Don't
having
mind
UFO
me
now.
just taking my UFO for a spin.
I mean, otherwise, I mean that I'm fine with that hype. This whole world is in theory designed to be a victory lap. So
It's
with
like-
that said,
In
I guess
theory.
I'm actually gonna take the time and hype to say that all things said, I'm very happy with this trilogy.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
Same.
I'm very happy that when Crash Bandicoot got its big revised, like, remastered trilogy, I've been waiting for Spyro to get the same treatment, and I was not disappointed.
It was
I
only a
mean, was
matter
there-
of time.
Was there really any doubt?
What about and real quick, what about you, Icky? What did you think of the Reignited trilogy just as a whole?
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Outside of like one or two very minor things, I just fucking love this trilogy so much.
And straight back to you she is.
Into the swamp you go,
She gives a
you
she
filthy
gives a thumbs up,
alligator.
and we actually get ourselves
Yin-yang.
a buy one get one free special.
I like how his horns were clipping out from the bottom of the thing.
Yes, they were, and there you go.
Babies.
Now he's gonna. Now we can see how all the babies are doing.
Now
Every
for
last.
the great babysit of 2018.
Oh no! Another one.
Well,
Not hatching yet.
I guess anything else, James? You had any? While we're doing this, do you have any other last thoughts on the trilogy, James?
Well, I am in agreement that I do think, as far as endings are concerned, I do think Reignited really did this one justice.
Especially with the last shot. Alright, you cute little rat.
you know that one
Yeah,
shot of Zoe with the with her ear to the egg. You know those commercials for like Forge of Empires or like
Oh,
Elvenar?
come here, you.
You know the ones,
Aw.
the ones for those games that look like they have like absolutely zero integrity.
Yeah.
It's like the voice, like the voiceover for commercials just pop in my head. It's like Forge of Empires now free on Apple on like FOE.tv.
But
More or
yeah,
less that.
real quick,
You had anything else, hype?
I want to say before we proceed on with final thoughts, that is one detail that I do love about the ending. Like in the original version of the ending, after the baby dragon finished its burping, like Spyro just kind of like shakes its
Come
head,
here.
like maybe this was a mistake. And I love
Maybe
the
this
change
is
that
a
they.
bad idea.
I love the change that they made to like now he just is like come here and gives him a little noogie. Like it's such a cute
you.
addition.
You little goofies.
Yeah. God, you dumb.
That honestly does see a little more, in character for Spyro. Considering again, the trilogy treats him as like a
A big bro.
exactly
Right.
a big brother, despite being originally being the run of the liver.
The run of the liver.
But anywho,
I think
Yeah,
we've
no, no,
overstayed our welcome with this commentary.
no, but I get what you're saying, James. I think that's always been one of Spyro's most endearing character traits. Is he has always been like an underdog of sorts.
An underdog and a bit of a I don't want to say ruffian, but kind of a
He's a wild card. He's sassy. He's like
he's a 10-year-old boy, pretty much.
he's eager to prove himself.
He's rough, he's tough, he's a mean, lean dragon machine.
And maybe we'll get a fourth game. Not that one, a different one.
Which one?
If not, either James or I have got to start brushing up our hero's tail skills.
I think
Either
James is
that,
gonna
or
be-
we could yell at Activision and tell them to let actual game developers have fun.
Or the Game Boy Advance games, I forgot. Whichever comes first, right, James?
Yeah. So with that all said, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you all enjoyed our Spyro shenanigans, and we'll see you all next time.
We did it! Goodbye!